What's up, you dirty motherfuckers?
Hey, what's up guys? Mike with PTP, Practical Training Professionals, back out at the Secret Squirrel Range out here in Southern Maryland. Today we're going to be doing something kind of interesting. So one of our members, as you guys know, we have a members only club. And one of the features of that is sometimes we get some kind of one-on-one time with their firearms. Well, one of our members recently picked up a new AR pistol without knowing a whole lot about it. And it came with the Sig Romeo 5 red dot sight RDS. And it doesn't work right now. I think it's just a battery issue. But today we're gonna go ahead and change out the battery on the RDS, and we're gonna go ahead and zero the RDS on the pistol. So there's a few different ways you can do that. Today what we're actually gonna be doing is, because we like really cool gear, we're gonna be using the Diamondback. Yes, we're gonna really stretch its legs out to 25 yards. So that's gonna be a blast. But if you don't have something like this, if you don't have a spotting scope, you could use these mark targets that you could generally pick up when it hits. It changes colors, so you can pick that up. But what we're not really going to be using this today yet. What we're going to be doing is we actually have targets set up downrange at 25 yards. That's where I like to zoom in, or that's where I like to really zero the rifle, because after 25 yards out to 50 or 100, your sights are going to be pretty much the same. And with a 2 minutes of angle red dot at 15 or 10 yards, you're still going to be pretty accurate. So yeah, with that guys, let's go ahead and get right into it. Bam.
I'm going to kick it up a little bit.
Yeah, so like I said, today this is a Spikes Tactical AR pistol. You can tell because it does have the braced stock here. This is not a fixed stock, and it does have a short barrel. So this is less than 16 inches, which is required by the ATF, all right? So today what we're gonna be doing is sighting in this Romeo 5 and trying to get what's called sometimes a battle zero or something like that on this rifle. And you normally do that from You normally do that from 25 yards. So, let's go ahead and peel the bikini caps off of that guy. All right, so first thing you want to do really is kind of just look down that and see if you can see anything, and I'm not seeing anything. So sometimes you could just take your hand and cover that and maybe push the brightness up to see if that really wakes it up, and it's not doing it. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and check the battery. So this is really simple. I came prepared for this. I brought the batteries for that and brought my old trusty knife here. Old timer, gotta love these guys. So this is the Energizer 2032 lithium. This is something you don't want to cheap out on. So these are shake awake style lights, meaning that when the pistol is being moved, the optic should come on. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open these guys up and get a decent battery in here that should last us a while. Now it's not super fancy like the tritium joints that you're going to see in like the ACOGs or Trichicons or anything like that, but don't cheap out. Get good batteries here, because at the end of the day, your life may depend on these batteries. Hope not. You should never trust a digital optic to save your life. I always am a mechanical optic kind of guy, but do it right. Let's go ahead and change this battery out. Super simple. There's a cap right here on the top. So yeah, there's a cap right here on the top. You just go ahead and untwist that, and then the battery should come out. I'm not sure if that is good or not, but we're going to go ahead and replace it with the new battery. Now, again, some people don't know their own strength, all right? As my stepdad used to say when I was growing up, you want this thing butthole tight, right? So not too tight. You still want to be able to get it off. Don't put a tool in here. Don't try to change that. Don't try to crank down on that thing. You don't need to do that. All right, so new battery in there. Now let's go ahead and check this thing out. So let me go ahead and max the brightness up. So you should be able to see right here on the top, there's a positive and a minus button here. That is to increase the brightness and lower the brightness. So we're gonna go ahead and try to max that out. I'm still not seeing anything, so makes me question kind of what's going on here. Could be too far over or up and down, could be too far left or right. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adjusting in and out, up and down, and seeing if I can wake this thing up. So we want to go ahead and remove these caps. There's a cap here for your windage and one for your elevation. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that. So now that we've got these things open, I just want to point something out. you may not always have a flathead or a knife with you when you're out in the range, but if you've got a bullet, again, this one is a 5.56, but you could always use the primer cap right here to go ahead and crank on that thing. Start getting some minutes in there. All right, so I went ahead, I adjusted the windage and the elevation here. I tried using this 5.56 cartridge, but it was just taking me too long, and I really think that this thing was so far out of zero for some reason that it wasn't showing up. So I went ahead and I pulled out the screwdriver here. Let's hope that that's working now. So yeah, I could clearly see the optic, the red dot through there. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can pull that back up on the phone here, and I wanna show you guys that. Let me go ahead and record this. And now you guys know already what a red dot looks like, but I want to go ahead and show you if I can get the camera in there. See, I don't know why it's showing up so weird like that, but you can see it. You can clearly see it. So the camera's trying to focus is what's happening, but you can see that red dot out there doing its thing. So that's kind of what I'm seeing out here too. All right, now that I can actually see the optic on here, I can actually see that red dot. We're gonna go ahead and load up some ammunition. This is a 5.56 NATO barrel, so we're gonna go ahead and run true 5.56 through it, no 223 and no 223 wild, okay? And there'll be, stay tuned because there will be another video coming up on the differences between those three cartridges. So yeah, let's go ahead and break for a second. I'm gonna get everything set up and we're gonna start zeroing this thing in. All right, so we're ready to go here. I went ahead, I loaded 10 rounds of Federal. This is actually high power 5.56 ammunition inside this magazine here. We're gonna go ahead and load this up into Firearm. I'm gonna get my ear pro on. So just so everybody knows, right now I'm using the real fuddy Winchester style ear pro. I do have some really nice stuff on the way, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the ear pro on, I'm gonna get loaded up, and I'm gonna start putting rounds down, but I'm gonna do everything in series of 3. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, fire, fire, fire. Clear. All right, so I was aiming at our targets, our special PTP targets. They actually have the sight picture that you'll see on a Glock style of frame firearm. I was aiming at that castle, so we'll go ahead and call it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and jump over here in a spotting scope. I'm gonna see where I'm at, if I'm up or down or left or right, and then I'm gonna make adjustments on the Romeo. All right, so I am showing high and right. High and right. So I'm gonna see if I can replicate that actually before I make any adjustments, because I'm that kind of person. So go ahead and charge here, pick up my sight picture, and I'm gonna go fire. Hot. All right, I am still, I'm no longer high, and I think that that was my first shot out of the 6. I think I was high. Now I am on the same square, but I'm left and right inside that same square. So really what I need to do is try to tighten up my grouping. So we're gonna go ahead and load back up one more time, and I'm gonna see if we can't get my grouping a little tighter. All right, let's check it out. All right, with that, I am very consistent with that. I know where I'm at, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and make a small adjustment right to left. All right, so on the Romeo here, it does have an indicator to the right. So if I rotate this thing counterclockwise, it's gonna move my shot to the right. I need to move my shot to the left. So I'm gonna rotate this thing clockwise a couple of clicks. I'm gonna see what that did, okay? All right, so I brought out 2 targets. I know where I'm at roughly on that castle. I'm gonna move up here. You'll see it on this other camera shot. There is a square in the middle. I'm actually gonna use that now to get myself left, right, up, down, and then I'm gonna drop down to that castle whenever I'm finally ready to put my final 0 on it. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and load the magazine up into the firearm and go hot. All right, let's check it out. All right, it's not the greatest group. That, I'm within about 2 inches left to right on the center line of that target. I'm gonna try 3 more rounds and see if I can't get him a little tighter. But what I did notice was my left to right, it looks pretty good right now. So now I think I'm pretty good. I'm gonna put 3 more on there and I'm gonna see if I could stay within that kind of a 2x2 square. And then I will shoot the black castle and see if I can't walk it down. Yeah, I'm good at that. I mean, my shots are all like right here, but I've been shooting center mass, if you will, of that square block, but all of my shots are high. I don't believe that that's something I'm doing on the trigger. I really think that that's the optic. So right now I'm assuming when I go to shoot the castle, I'm gonna be high. But let's go ahead and put 2 shots downrange onto the castle and then we'll get a good idea where we're at. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you guys can see it right there on the target. I'm a little bit high, and we're so close that I'm gonna make very small movements to get that side picture, to get that target, to get that shot to actually line up with my side picture. So again, on the Romeo here, up, if I turn the wheel counterclockwise, it's gonna take the shot up. I want the shot to go down, so I'm going to turn the Romeo here. I'm going to turn the elevation screw clockwise to get my shot to go down. So I'm going to go ahead, and right now I'm at the 6 and 12 o'clock position. I'm going to go ahead and rotate that to the 3 and 9 o'clock position and see what happens, and see if that takes me too far, if it puts me just right. Range is clear. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy with. But the true test is here, it's not about me, it's about the member's gun. All right, so I'm gonna throw this in his hands. If he can replicate my shot, then we know that the RDS is true to that firearm. If not, it's going to take some more work, and I'm actually going to have to meet up with the firearm owner himself and get this thing sighted in there. So, all right, with that, guys, yeah, so that is how I go about doing a battle 0 on any kind of optic. I throw some rounds down range. I try to make sure I understand the trigger, understand what my sight picture looks like, and I try to replicate that. And then I identify what I need to do with that sight. Do I need to move it windage, left, right, elevation, up, down? And I slowly start walking it into position, generally doing 3 rounds at a time. For me, on that target, I'm within probably a coffee cup, and you guys will see it because the side-by-side's right there for you. If you like what we're doing here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on the channel. That's how we grow. It's how we can continue to do stuff like this. If you're interested in getting some one-on-one with how to zero your rifle, if you're in the Southern Maryland area, please reach out to us. And if you are a member, you already know what we're doing out here. So, yeah, we thank you guys. And as always, learn, defend, prevail. We're out. All right, hit it. Run, boy, run! Woo-hoo! 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 Ladies and gentlemen, do not run at the range.